Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. Trust us, it'll be worth it. Thank you. What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000. Thank you. I see we got a lot of people are in the chat here. We got Jackson Briggs, Bees Nest Films, Austinator, JJ. I saw Eli who let's see here. Who else do we have? Yeah, I mean, we got a few people in here. I appreciate you guys being here today. And this, as you guys know, is Hey Dandelion Fluff. How you doing? Good to see you. As you know, this is the weekly wrap up. This is where I tell you about all the stuff that you don't care about. Yes, because that's just what I do. I get my 5 minutes to talk and have you guys listen. It's kind of amazing that I can do this, isn't it? It's like mind control. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you guys being here. Do me a favor really quick, guys. If you are not yet subscribed, if you're here for the first time, please hit that red box. I think it says subscribe on it. If it's red, that means you are not subscribed. Please click on that. And if you thought you were subscribed, and maybe look down there and see that YouTube has played this wonderful game of unsubscribing people without you knowing, please hit it again. We would greatly appreciate it. Anyways, also smash that like button, hit that bell. That bell is really important. Tells you when we're coming out with new stuff, when we release new videos and all that fun stuff. Yeah, guys. And so this week was kind of interesting to begin with. We've jumped on LDG streams and stuff on and off, you know, for the past few weeks. Love doing that. So we're just going to throw that out right there. So I have 2 new people on the list of people down in the main part of the description, you know, where I list all the people who help out with the channel and all that. First off is LDG Pixels. LDG has been helping me out massively lately with computer issues and things. Like if it goes wrong really quick, like we did this past week, we had a problem with sound on one of our streams. We had to cancel it, but yeah, there you go. See, just like that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So might have to talk to him about that too. But yeah, he's helped me figure out a lot of these issues. I don't know what's going on. It might be my internet. I'll have to reset my box or something. I'm not sure, but it's been dropping stuff here every once in a while. Anyways, let's just run through this really quick. And anyways, what I was saying is that LDG is now listed as tech support for the channel because he's been helping my butt out. So I have his link down there, down in the chat. And yeah, alien induction, great. And then Dandelion Fluff is now in the main part of the description as moral support. She's a great friend. You know, I talk to her about a lot of different things and stuff, and I really appreciate all she does. And she, you know, we talk, and I really appreciate that, Dandelion Fluff. Just so you know, your name is now permanently in the descriptions. Yeah. Anyways, and so also, guys, if I mentioned anybody this week that I streamed with, their name is down there. Also, their links are down there. I do that every week for you guys. I have so much to go back to. This is number 50. That's what the L stands for. Just so you know, that was not a typo. L is the Roman numeral for 50. We've done 50 of these. We're 2 away from a year worth of these weekly wrap-ups, and you guys have been really awesome, and I appreciate that. I didn't fix it. I am so sorry. I will fix it. At C. Okay, I'll fix it. I promise you I will. Anyways, we're gonna go over this, but everybody that I did stream with this week is down in the description box below. So first off, I believe Monday we did try. Let me check the date here. Yeah, Monday we did try for a gaming stream. That gaming stream went horribly wrong because we had no sound with the game, and so we had to figure that out. Again, LDG helped me out that night. We figured it out, and the next day we did have the gaming stream. So Tuesday we did the gaming stream. I believe also on Tuesday we uploaded our Mandalorian Season 2 Trailer 3 reaction, gearing up for this week. The Mandalorian returning on Thursday, which is the 30th. Now, tonight at 7 p.m., we are going to be doing the Mandalorian Roundtable starting at 7 p.m. And hold on, guys, just a second, please. So sorry. Gotta love it. Anyways, and now noise up there. Oh, wow. Anyways, let's get through this. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Anyways, yeah, we did the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer number 3 reaction on Tuesday, along with the live gaming stream on Tuesday. Monday night, we did the chaotic conversation over on Danny Graham's channel. I think it was the five super villains from DC that we would have in our own Suicide Squad. So we did that Tuesday, live gaming stream, the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer number 3 reaction, and we did the KHAOS list over on Nzo's channel. And on Wednesday, we did, of course, the Rule of 3. Now, on Tuesdays, we also normally release the Unmasking the Masked Singer. But this week, since they didn't have it because of the World Series, we didn't do it. So we will get to that this week again. Also, on Thursday, we did our Weekly Rumble. That was number 29 of that. Okay, so the 29th, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, actually, it does come out on the 29th. I said Thursday because I'm thinking Thursday because whatever. But it is the 29th. It's the 30th, and it's like at 1 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. your time, something like that. I don't know. They release it in the break of morning, like right after midnight. That's crazy. But they do that. And then Thursday we did do the Weekly Rumble as usual. Had some fun times with that. And yeah, Mad Martigan again has tried to circumvent the security of our program, and we and him will have a conversation about that. Nice. Okay, guys. Well, let's do this. Let's copy this. Let's put it in the chat for you guys. Hey, Shadow Hunter, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's Ah! Wow, you guys like all came in at the same time. It was crazy. It was like boom, 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 and I'm like,
I don't know why I come in here. I got to look at you in a couple hours anyway.
Well, somebody's got to be here, JJ.
You're talking about that guy, aren't you?
how about that? Gotta love it. No, and how the hell did that happen?
I like the way
Picking your nose.
You're all picking your nose, and then you jumped yourself back in.
No, actually, it kicked me out. I wasn't.
Yeah, it does that to me sometimes. When Senior kicks me out, I can't hear anybody, but people can still hear me. I come back in, there's two of me.
Do you have ferrets, Eli?
Weird.
What?
Ferrets? It looks like a bunch of ferret toys in the background.
That's the background that he just put up there. I was going to tell him to clean up.
But still, it looks like ferret toys. That's like a ferret owner.
I know that computer's old. It doesn't work anymore, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oscillator, how you doing?
Doing pretty all right, Chris. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just sending out the link to random people. Who is this? Sex Walker 128. Okay, we'll put that one in anyways.
There we go. That's wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah. Oops.
I like that it's all destroyed. That's great.
There we go.
So I thought of a thing that I wanted to kind of do a little video about anyway, so I figure doing it in a live chat group or live discussion would be best, actually. And that is, let's talk about the fact that we are officially only a full week and plus some days away from the United States having another presidential election.
And Chris just froze it.
Chris froze again. There was like a Zodiac thing that the last week and this week are supposed to be like the most chaotic weeks of the whole year. Like I don't know, something's in opposition to something or something shitty like that.
All right.
Mercury's in retrograde. Who knows? Anyway.
So what we're going to do here, and hopefully this will keep me in. I don't know what's going on, and I hate that it does this, but I'll ask LDG about it. Maybe he'll have an idea. So what we'll talk about, I don't want to get into personal politics or this side of that side. I want to talk more point of how important it is to vote, no matter who you're voting for. Because here's the truth. As a person who probably sees themselves more as a libertarian or somebody who just doesn't want government involved in their lives, I toe no party line. I don't go either way. I don't talk, I don't care. I vote some Republican, some Democrat. I've voted for independents. I'm very much, I want to know what you're about. And if I like what you're about and you speak it to a way that I believe what you're saying, there's a good chance I'm going to vote for you. But I want to just talk about the fact that it's important to vote. So I know, JJ, you don't vote, do you?
No.
Okay. And so, Eli, who?
I vote.
You vote. Dan Linefuck, you're up in Canada, but you guys do vote. But you vote, don't you?
I'm not Canadian, so I can't vote here.
Oh, you can't. Wow. Well, I know you're not Canadian, but that's interesting. You're not. Are you illegal? No, I want to say legal resident.
I'm what's called a landed immigrant here. So I have, as long as I stay in the country for 6 months of the year, like I can't leave the country for more than 6 months, or I lose my status. The only thing pretty much is I can't vote.
Okay, that's interesting.
I can't run for political office.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that here in a second. And Austin, Adrian, you just graduated, so you're 18, right?
Yes.
Are you voting, or have you done the early vote?
This is going to be my first time voting.
Okay, very good.
It's going to be an interesting experience.
I'm sure it will be. Nothing like going in and having a bunch of old people ask you for an ID. It's like, what?
They don't ask us for any here.
Okay, well, where are you at, Eli? Who?
San Francisco.
Oh, really? They don't?
No, you can go to any polling place, even City Hall, and vote. Just
But
tell
do
me your name.
do you have to have a card or something showing who you really are?
No.
That's interesting. Interesting. Hey, Justin, what's going on?
Presumably, you would be a registered voter, though, Eli.
Yes.
Like a registered.
They ask you your name, your address. They look you up. Here you go. Here's your registration. Here's your ballots.
Hey, Justin, what's going on?
Not much. Just decided to pop in. What are you guys talking about?
We are going to talk about voting and how important it is to vote. We're not going to get into the politics of what's going on. We're just going to talk about the importance of voting no matter who you plan to vote for. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. So, so like I said, we have one person who can't vote where she lives. That kind of singled you out.
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know.
She.
Well, somebody could be like, I don't know, a cross-dresser or drag king or something. I don't know.
You can still vote.
Yeah, come on, guys.
And then, there you go. And then, man, I didn't even know you admitted a proper Jenny anymore.
Every now and then.
So, Shadow Hunter.
Yeah.
How old exactly are you?
15.
15. Okay, so you can't vote yet, no matter what, could you?
No, and also I'm in England.
The worst panel.
No, I'm not talking about
this question, Chris.
What?
We are. California is trying to make it legal for 16-year-olds to vote in primary elections.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think it.
Wait, just primary?
Yes, if it's a presidential election or a mayoral election, 16-year-olds can vote.
Okay. All right. So listen,
Okay.
just because Shadow Hunter is underage for voting, and you're under.
And we lost Chris.
God's sakes.
Oh, no.
So okay, I took a spot. So Shadow Hunter, he was saying you're under 18, you can't vote. Basically, do you want to vote, or how would you come across this to tell other people? Like, what is voting important? How would you express that? Okay, Chris, you're back. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask is, what age is it legal to vote there? I'm not just talking about voting here in the States. I'm talking about voting.
18.
18. Okay, so same here as the United States. So
Yeah.
if you had a vote this year, and would you be voting? Are you the type of person who, when you turn 18, you plan to vote?
In America, no, because I don't live there. But if I did,
I'm not talking about in America. I'm just saying, where
absolutely,
you're
yeah.
at, would you would vote? Would you? Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. My point here is everybody votes or doesn't vote for a reason, and I am one of those people who stress and urge people to vote. So first off here, since I know we have one person who chooses not to vote, and that is his right as an American, and I am not dogging you, JJ, or starting with you just because of that, but I want to hear why you don't vote. JJ?
Probably got his
He
headphones.
said he'll be right back in private chat.
Oh, okay, well, all right, so let's start with this. Let's start with Dandelion Fluff. Since you're not allowed to vote, how does that make you feel? I mean, because are you the type of person that if you were able to vote in Canada, that you would vote?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely vote. And I mean, really, I'm just really super lazy about paperwork. So that's why I haven't filled with paperwork. And then when the last government was in power, they put in a bunch of extra weird rules. So I've been in Canada since I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to like prove that I can speak English or French, which I can actually do both. But I'd have to prove that somehow. So the fact that I have a high school diploma, a university degree, a college paper, and that I've written 39 books is apparently not enough. I still have to like prove that I can speak English fluently somehow.
I speak English good.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Question. I mean, I can go. What? You walk in into the voter registration place and you go like, "Parlez-vous français?" I do speak English. I mean, does that work? Because I mean, that's all.
I honestly don't know. There was some sort of thing like I don't know if you have to like pay extra to take a test or something. Mm-hmm. And so I've just kind of been like, oh, it sounds like a pain in the ass, and so I kind of put it off. Okay. It's kind of funny because there's lots of people where I work that are here from other countries, and they all do have their citizenships. Like, well, not all of them, but lots of them are Canadian citizens now. So it's kind of funny because, you know, people always rag on, like, they assume that non-white people aren't Canadian. And that's the other kind of reason I never took it out, is because every time somebody like starts slagging off immigrants, I go, well, I'm an immigrant. Mm-hmm. And then they go, well, I don't mean you. And I said, well, then you don't mean
you. That's so racist.
I know, right? How freaking awful is that? But then I thought to myself, well, even if I take out citizenship, I can still use that line. Because that always like totally calls them up short, because they assume because I speak English and I'm white, I must be Canadian or American or whatever.
That kind of reminds me of what happened to Vile Mike the other day. He said he has his bandana and his face mask on. Somebody made a comment to him. He's like, "Oh wait, never mind. It was you." He thought it was somebody else, like another party-affiliated group. So they turned around. I'm like, "Oh wait, never mind." It's like spotting someone in a red hat and thinking they're a MAGA hat, but it's actually an A's fan.
Okay. All right, so JJ, are you there? No, he's not back.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah. I just kept away for a second.
I went to Dandelion Fluff because she's on the opposite spectrum of what you are. She isn't even allowed to vote where she's at the current time. She has to go through hoops and jump through it. You have to be a little circus animal, don't you, Dandelion Fluff, to actually vote?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, you know the funny thing? I'll show you the funny thing.
He's a kitty. Look, he's dancing, and the stream kicked him off. The stream does not like you dancing, Chris.
We're about to have. Oh, he's gone again. So we're about to have.
You guys keep going. I asked the question. Okay.
And they actually sent me a voting card.
You need to ask. You need to call them up and say, "Hey, can I vote?"
Well, it would still be illegal for me to vote. Like, they send me this, but if I was
arrest you,
I could be deported.
Oh, that's true. That because you're not.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's the thing, right? Like, if I commit any bad crimes, they can just kick me out of the country. So that's the other.
Yeah, but where are you from originally? You said
England.
Yeah, well, what part?
I was born in Coventry.
How far away is that from you, Shadowhunter?
From where?
From
Shadowhunter.
Shadowhunter.
I don't know.
You don't. Okay, I was just gonna say maybe if you got deported,
Leeds.
And
you're further north than Coventry. You're near near York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so, yeah.
5 minutes away from York.
Yeah, Coventry's sort of more west of London.
Yeah.
Basically,
got blown up a lot in
Okay.
the Second World War.
So, Dandelion Fluff's in a position where she has to go through certain steps to get to a point where she's allowed to vote. JJ, being an American citizen, you are allowed to vote. You just have to go in and register and stuff like that. But you don't. And like I said before, I'm not trying to pick on you. I don't care. That is your absolute American God-given right here to not vote. But what is your reasoning behind not voting?
Well, primarily is I don't understand it. I know what the vote is. Don't get me wrong. I know what it is. Where to go, what to do, how to do it. I never understood it. I'm a high school dropout. I never understood the American political structure completely.
Okay.
You know, I know bits here and there. It's just, to me, it's boring. You know, I'm an entertainment guy. I like action, adventure, stuff blowing up. You know, this stuff bores the living shit out of me. And it.
Well, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, Chris.
I'm curious. Do you get bored when there are politics or something like that is involved with the plot of a movie that you're watching as well?
Yeah, I'm not a big political movie person. Now, I've watched a few of it, like say Clear and Present Danger.
White House Down.
You know,
Yeah.
Well, I never seen that.
White House Down, does that really count?
Hell,
Okay,
even
never mind.
Independence Day. You know, there's a political structure in there. You know, but it's just different things.
Yeah.
Politics bore the crap out of me. It puts me to sleep.
Okay, so I know one time when we kind of broached this subject a little bit, you said that you were like, as long as they don't actually affect me,
Right.
like your situation, all that, because I don't want to go too far into your situation on here because I don't know.
No, that's all good.
All right, but okay,
It's just the way I see it. Since I was legal to vote when I turned 18 years old, that was my train of thought. The moment it affects me, then I'll vote and try to make a difference. So far, I'm 48 years old. 30 years later, it hasn't affected me.
JJ, can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. The voting, basically, I'm not going to talk about a presidential election or anything. I'm going to talk about local issues, the city or town you live in. Every year or so, every year or every 2 years, there are local ballots for proposition on the ballots that people vote for. And a lot of times people's like, why should I vote for this one? This doesn't even include me or doesn't have any relevance to me whatsoever. Like, for instance, business on small taxes. Like, okay.
No, I know all that.
I work in a
It's
little
just-
company. Well,
No,
the
I
business
know.
is small taxes and are going to
Eli.
pop-up shops, restaurants where you
Eli.
affect the shop ads.
Eli, hold on.
I understand all that. It's just it don't interest me.
Oh, okay.
It's all boring to me. Now with that being said, you know, people knowing me who I am, I'm the local pothead here next to Eli. But
All right.
You guys got the country locked down on both sides.
The governor
Let's
that
hop
we-
off some quick. Hop off some.
No, the governor we have right now, I could have cared less. I watched when that election was going on, and you know the smear campaigns running rampant. You know, I could have cared less for this guy. But the moment he got voted in, well, we got marijuana medically legal, and he's also got enough signatures now to have it on the ballot to have it recreationally legal.
Woohoo!
Now, when I find out that when that vote's coming, I'll vote for that. You know, I'll go vote for that because hell yeah, I want it legal. I want to be able to sit out in my front yard in a cop ride by him, not say a damn word. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just me though. You know, that's the only thing that interests me. Anything else? Hey, taxes this, or we're building that, or we got to go over here. I don't give a shit. I'm sitting here living my own life under a rock. You know,
All right.
You should live under Afghanistan. It's a lot easier, a lot cooler than Iraq.
Okay, so
no, under a rock.
okay. So we talked to one person who. Go ahead, Justin.
I was just laughing. That's
Okay.
all.
So we talked to Dandelion Fluff, who currently under the way that things are. She's not allowed to vote until she goes through some hoops, including telling them she knows how to speak English, which obviously she does, probably better than most of us, and she's written books, goddammit. 2, she says she's fluent in French, and I wouldn't know if she was or wasn't, because until I hear baguette and parlez-vous français and things like that. We, until I hear those things, I don't really.
Quoi?
Anyways. But until that, okay, so she has to go through hoops, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, I don't want just anybody to come into any country and that I'm a resident of and just walk in and be able to change the way things are without showing that they have, I guess, some interest and some right to. I think they do have to go and say, listen, I would like to vote, and what do you want to know about me in order for me to vote? Now, again, if you're an American citizen and you're registered to vote, that's a whole nother thing. So whatever. Now, since we talked to you two, I want to talk to Austinator next, because this is going to be the first election he's allowed to vote in. So, Austinator, you're going to vote, you said, right?
Yes.
How did you come upon that decision to vote? Was it something that your parents have taught you to do? Was it something you feel like you want to, but you've not really had any outside influence of? Where did you get the idea that you want to vote this time around?
Well, I feel like it's more of a combination of from like what my grandparents and what I kind of want to do, because my grandparents vote, I would say, every time the election comes around, and it's one of those things where I want to do it because I want to put my voice out there to kind of tell everybody, like, you know, this is who I'm voting for, and I don't care what those Twitter bullies have to say.
Okay. All right. And you feel do you feel it's your obligation now that you're able to do it, or do you just feel like you want to? Which of those would you say?
Well, I feel like it's more like I want to do it, but at the same time, it becomes more of an obligation, but that also comes about because of certain people who want you to vote. And this is kind of, and I'm going to sidetrack here for a second. People on Twitter are, I'm just going to say, like, celebrities and just certain people. And I'm not talking about anybody on the panel or anybody in the chat. I'm talking about just certain people who don't use logic or anything, and they don't listen to reason because of either because they're not part of that political party or whatever, you know. And honestly, it's ridiculous. And I want to vote just to tell everybody, hey, fuck off.
Okay. Hey,
your prerogative.
That, you know, yeah. I've told people I'll get to my opinions of this. I do want to get to everybody. We're going to go 1 hour because I have another stream at 7, so I want to make sure I get to everybody. Justin, you're back in Ohio, right?
Yes.
So you are in what they would call a swing state.
Yeah.
You've gone both directions in the past. And how do you view that in your, okay, I'm assuming that you are registered, either re-registered in Ohio. I don't know when you went to California.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No way in hell would I have ever registered to vote in California. That's, you know, I would be throwing my vote away.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to get into the politics of this, right? I just want to know, what is it that you feel makes it important for you to vote?
Well, I think it's because it's a swing state. You know, it seems like, you know, not that anyone's vote doesn't matter more than anyone else's, but it feels like a little bit more of an obligation because, you know, people put such an emphasis on my state and other swing states. So it's partially out of obligation, and, you know, part of it is just I want to decide who's going to be my next president. So I vote every 4 years. I don't do the primaries, really. I think they're boring, unless, you know, it has to be a specific reason or specific issues on the ballot. So, but yeah, I just think it's very important that you vote, and you don't And it's an important thing to exercise your right to vote, because not all countries allow you to vote.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing about America that a lot of people take for granted. I mean, because I don't know what the exact numbers is. That's bad. Talking about speaking English, my God, I do not know the exact numbers are of registered voters to actual population in the United States. All I know is in the last election, 55% of registered voters voted, which kind of makes you wonder if you take the time to register, which I know a lot of high schools just make you sign the paperwork and say, hey, here you got. I mean, if you're a man in this country or a male in this country, you're required by 18 to sign up for selective service, and that selective service automatically enrolls you as a voter. Now, depending on the state, you might have to call them up and say, hey, by the way, I registered for selective service. Here's the information. You might have to do that, but that pretty much puts you in the voter corps. And I think a lot of people, though, don't understand how important it is. Now, we'll get into this here in a minute. I want to, again, get to everybody first. But there's a few things that I think that America could do to make voting a little more enticing to certain people. Next up, let's go to Eli Hoo. California. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So Justin says he would never vote in.
I would always do an absentee ballot.
Okay.
I want my vote to count.
Okay.
For one reason or another.
So Eli Hoo is in California, and you do vote.
Yes, I do.
What is your stance on voting and the importance, non-importance, any of that stuff? Why do you vote?
Well, I was basically trying to explain to JJ, even if people don't vote in the primary elections, you live in a city or a little town, and there's different propositions that affect the city itself. And you may think, okay, how could teacher salary increase affect my life? Well, let's think about this for instance. If teachers get a bigger salary, they're going to spend more money at businesses like art supply stuff for the classrooms. They're going to go out to lunch. Hey, you may work in a restaurant. You never know. You may have a friend who works in a restaurant who really is suffering. It'll affect each and every one of us down the road. It's like a domino effect. Now, presidential elections, it's kind of an if and go because, well, some people don't vote because they think, okay, my vote doesn't count because he'll be won by 3 million, but she still lost. Lost the Electoral College. Why should I bother voting if the Electoral College is electing the president? I vote because my vote's supposed to count toward the Electoral College. Not guaranteed it does, but it's supposed to count toward it. That's the insurance of voting for the president. That's what I was taught. That's what I was raised as. I still don't think the Electoral College should elect the president. I still think it should be a mass majority of people. And when it comes to absentee ballots and mail-in ballots, the only difference is you sign an extra piece of paper with your signature. What's the point of that? Making sure your signatures match when you actually on your ballot itself. There's a lot of people who do the mail-in ballots and they sign the ballots, they reject it because of the signature. How many times? When's the last time you actually looked at your signature? Is it the same? You can't even verify that here in California. You can't call up and go, hey, I want to verify my whole signature, make sure I still have the exact same signature. They won't do that. So a lot of ballots do get tossed out and invalid because of the signature part without even looking at the actual count. Like signature doesn't match, okay, invalid. They don't contact that person whatsoever.
Okay.
That's rude.
Yeah, I know.
It should definitely make it easier for more people to vote.
Well, they will contact you after the election's over.
Oh, well, that's
How convenient.
that's too.
I know.
Wow.
Okay. So, all right. So we've gotten everybody, but Shadowhunter.
You can't vote.
Yeah, I know.
Can't.
I know. I'm going there though. So,
Still can't.
but when you turn 18, you said you plan to start voting, right?
Yeah.
And even though you're not in the United States, and again, I'm not binding this just the United States. Again, Canada, Great Britain, a lot of countries allow people to vote. And if you look into the history and things like, and I can't name exact countries, but for years, think of USSR. Well, yes, they had elections, it was very much driven by, if you don't vote this way, you're not going to get this, and this. I mean, and so
Yeah.
that's not so much an election. That is almost a requirement to do something. And I would beg, and if there's anybody who watches this who's Russian and you think differently than what I think, I'm not going to get into the political discussion about how your country's run, but there is some question to the legality and the full freedom of vote in Russia currently, because he has recently signed something in the past couple of years, I think, where they basically said he has the right to stay in for, I think it's 15, 20 years, something like that now.
Something like that.
Yeah. So we're not going to go into that, but the voting, the way that things are voted for here in the United States, in Canada, and in Great Britain are fairly similar, because we have all come from pretty much the Queen Mother and that place. And so,
Queen.
Yes.
So,
So
speaking of which, wouldn't it be cool to vote out the royal family? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would.
Here's
They
the
don't,
funny
they
thing.
don't do anything.
They only
They have no
cost
power except
75
the
cents
Declaration
a
of
year
War.
Canadian.
No,
so
wait. They
Queen
don't
don't
have any
have
power
nuclear
except for a few things. One, declaration of war has to still be issued by the
Queen herself.
royalty, the Queen, whoever's in charge. Two, she can be the deciding vote in Parliament if it's a tie.
Yeah.
She also has the right that once it is decided by Parliament, it goes to her because she still signs it. And she technically, by their laws, if I remember right, and I'm not British, so do please correct me if I'm wrong, Shadowhunter.
Right.
If she wishes to not sign it and not go with it, she can. The thing is,
Yeah.
is
they
that's
feel like
kind of-
she's done. She has to sign all our stuff too.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, okay, but she technically has more power than people believe she does. She just doesn't.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
There's the chances of them like refusing is pretty slim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You guys realize that the Queen is the only English citizen who does not require a passport? Why?
Yep.
Because all passports have her signature on it, so.
Yeah.
there's a lot of things.
Hey, all respect, Queen.
Okay,
And she
but
doesn't have a
you
last
plan, so Shadowhunter, you plan to vote when you turn 18.
Yeah.
Why are you a person who plans to vote?
I haven't thought of this. But I think the reason is just because I've seen all the turmoil and stuff that's happened in the UK over the last 20 years with politics and like my opinions towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I see someone who has that similar opinion to me and they're running for Prime Minister, then I can't just sit back and let them most likely lose. Like, I'm more Labour. I know most of you won't understand, but it's like Conservative and Labour.
Yeah.
Conservatives left wing, and then right wing, and then Labour's left wing a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like Labour's more about like sharing everything with everyone, and that it's just a bit complicated. But anyways, I don't know if I feel in the UK you're kind of motivated to vote. It's like, I don't know, it feels like you're influenced from very young, because it's like freedom of speech and that, like, get your opinions out there and stuff. I don't know if they have that in America where it's like more influenced on you to vote than to not, but in the UK definitely influenced to vote, and the reason I want to is mainly that, but also like if I see someone like Boris Johnson at the helm being an absolute plonker and saying he's made of Greg's, then I'm gonna vote him out.
Okay. I think it's a great thing. I remember that I think it was 2.5, 3 years before I was able to vote, I started getting involved in taking pamphlets around to places, talking about things that were being voted on. I worked at a casino, for instance, okay? I was not old enough to vote for said casino, but I did go around and pass out literature about it. My father worked for a city that was supposed to get one, so I was heavily involved there trying to get people to vote for it. And every city that in this area that was voting on it voted yes to get one after the state voted yes to have riverboat gambling. What's going on, Bone? It's good to see all you guys out there. Really quick, if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Please smash that like button. Hit the bell so you know when we're coming out with good stuff or new stuff. Good stuff is my own personal belief. Anyways, and check out everybody that's on the panel here and everybody we streamed with this past week. Down in the description box, there's a lot of links down there for you guys to follow and stuff. But I viewed it as my own personal way to affect the world around me. I mean, my parents, yeah, they voted all the time. I went with my parents, waited in line with them because, you know, I'm an only child. One of them was with me most of the time, so I was always with them when they went to vote. My parents did not vote one way or another, so maybe that's why I'm not just like, where's the D or where's the R? But I felt that it was more about myself and my ability to affect my world. While I may not always get what I want, I still can go home and know, hey, I did my part in trying to change what I didn't like or change something to the better.
Yeah.
And I've been like that my whole life. I've tried to impress upon my 18-year-old currently that you need to think about who's running, look at all of the candidates, and look at all the issues. Study them. I've shown them websites you can go to that are not swung by one side or the other because they are very straightforward. Here's what's on the bill, or here's what's being, proposed. Here's what will happen, or if it's tax related, this is what the taxes are going to be over the years. It's set to jump up this much in 5 years. While it may not make that very clear, because he's seen the ballot now, he knows how confusing it can be. I'm trying to teach my son the same way. I'm like, just because he may say I don't like a certain, candidate, I'm like, yeah, but just because just because you see that somebody isn't liked over a certain group of people, I said, don't let that sway you. You need to know if you don't like that person or not. You need to know if you don't want to vote for that person or not. Don't let other people decide your vote. I'm very much about knowing who and why you're voting for a person, not just because Joe over here is voting for X candidate because, well, that's how his parents are voting, but Joe's my friend, so he talks crap about Y candidate, so I'm going to just vote for X candidate because he makes Y candidate sound like crap. I'm like, well, do you know that that's actually how Y candidate is? It's very important to know how and who you're voting for. And Austinator, you haven't voted. I don't know. You said you haven't voted yet?
Yes, this is my first time voting.
But, I mean, you didn't do early voting or anything, have you?
No.
Okay.
Full voting experience, go in on voting day.
I would say right now you have about a week. I would start looking at all the issues that are on there. I would start looking at every candidate that you're gonna have on there, and I urge you to think about your personal beliefs and double checking that the people you are thinking of voting for actually follow those personal beliefs. Because I will tell you this, more often than not, you're going to find out that you think they do, but they may not. And it's very important to dig into it. Now, that's why I did it. That's what my personal belief is about voting. I think it's very, very important. Let's talk about one of the things that I do have a problem about in voting in the United States, the Electoral College.
Yeah, me too.
Now, let me talk about the Electoral College really quick. So there are 50 states, if you didn't know. 51 votes come in. I can't remember. I'd have to dig really far into it.
Puerto Rico has no representatives for the Electoral College, but they still can vote.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can vote, but I'm not sure. I don't think it actually gets thrown in there as anything more than just, hey, we think this person should get it. And maybe if it's
basically, yeah, it's been that way.
Close majority, maybe they do it. But here's the thing. Of the 50 states, only 29 of them have legal control over how their electors vote in the Electoral College. That means just over half of your states basically have set up a law that says if the popular vote goes one way or the other, that's who the Electoral College has to vote for.
Mhm.
So that is Alabama, Alaska, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Florida, Hawaii, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
This would be faster in Canada because we've only got like 10 provinces.
I know.
I think only 12 of those states you mentioned have early mail-in ballots, and only 3 of them allowed to open up early.
This year, 39 states, I think, did some sort of ability to do mail-in early absentee. I mean, every state has absentee, but the rules of how and why you can do it are different. This year, a lot of things got changed for the whole fluffy bunny disease.
I think there's a few states that have got entirely mail-in. Like I know Washington State is entirely mail-in. Then they have been for years. And
Yeah, every California resident got their mail-in ballots.
Now, I'm going to go around the panel, and whether or not you vote or not, I want to ask you a question. Is it right that if a state that's not on here, being, let's say, Missouri, I'm from Missouri, so I'll just pick Missouri. Do you think it's right that if the popular vote goes one way, that the Electoral College and people, we are not given any clue of who these people are because we are not told who they are? We have no clue who the Electoral College people are. There, as far as I know, there's no way that legally we can ask. Do you think it's right that an Electoral College representative can vote opposite of the popular vote in the state where they're not required to vote for the popular vote? JJ, what do you think?
No.
Okay. Is there a reason why?
I think each state should be in control of all 50 or 51, however you want to look at it. I think all states should have control on how the vote goes, not someone else. You know, it's called a vote for a reason. You know, if we're, whether I vote or not, if we the people are out there voting to decide the next leader or continued leader of this country, okay, that's where the, you know, count those votes and then the winner wins. Why do you got to bring someone else in? Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I say. You know, give it a kiss.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Eli, who?
Oh, me, exactly. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I remember the question. I'm not that stoned.
Okay. Basically, like I said, your state and JJ's state both, if they vote popularly for one candidate, that's where the Electoral College votes go. Period. Doesn't matter what they want to do. It has to go that way. Here in Missouri, we could vote popularly for one candidate, and this state can decide to go for the other candidate, which has happened 3 times in the past 40 years.
That is why it's misery.
I know. I always say to people, I live in a constant state of misery. Anyway.
Yeah. When the Electoral College,
do you think it's right or wrong?
It's wrong because when the Electoral College was set up, our voting system was different than it was 150, 200 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was basically the village, like, okay, the village had basically mass vote. The Electoral College was represented as like, okay, this area is voting this way. This is how it was supposed to be originally done. But since voting in the past 75 years has actually exponentiated the process, we know within 2 to 3 days now. So Electoral College, we really don't even need that anymore. Representing an area, we have our people's vote. We the people, we should vote, and we're supposed to vote for the President of the United States. Not 237 odd people, but the 36 something odd million people in the United States here. Popular vote should win. Mm-hmm. This is why I'm glad California has that law. It's like, hey, it may be it may be part of the Constitution, but this is what you're going to do if you want to be a California citizen and vote. You have to go with the majority of the people, like it's supposed to be.
Okay. Dandelion Fluff, what do you think? Even though you're not from the United States, I'm going to give you an opinion.
I think there's like a lot of issues with pretty much every method of electing people, because we have here, it's kind of a first past the post thing. Each party, you don't vote for the prime minister, you vote for your local party representative, and then the party that gets the most representatives elected, whoever the leader of that party is, becomes the prime minister. And so in that way as well, you wind up sometimes, and not infrequently, with like not a majority of people supporting that prime minister, but just the way that the votes all fell out, they wound up in charge anyway. So, but I do think your electoral college is a little bit wonky. I mean, even if they just changed it, so like if I realize what happens with most of your states is all the electoral college votes go to the majority of the electoral college votes within that state, right? So like say it broke down and like half of the votes went, or like, you know, 2/3 of the votes went one way and 1/3 went the other way. All of those votes, I suppose one partial solution would be to like each electoral college vote has to be counted as elected, like, but I realize it doesn't work that way. I mean, or yeah, like a majority vote of people vote for it. I mean, again, I don't think there's a perfect solution, because they're always talking about switching to a different system here. I can't remember the word for it now because I have the fire on and it's super hot in here.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if your city elections had an electoral college system. So you're not really voting for the mayor; other people are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Process. Yeah.
It's. I mean, voting for stuff is really complicated. Like, I mean, it's complicated to set up a system that actually ends up proportional representation. That's one of the other systems that they keep talking about here. But again, once a party is in power, they got that way through the system that's currently in operation. So there's no incentive for them to change that.
Mm-hmm.
So there lies part of the problem, is people who are in power, they want to stay in power. So again, that's why you wind up getting so many issues with people trying to like stay in control by changing the rules so that it benefits them. But again,
I got about 5 minutes or so that I want to be cutting this off at, but let's go to Justin. What's your opinion of the Electoral College?
Well, I mean, there's a reason why it's in place. So you were mentioning earlier that, could you repeat just real quick what the overall question was? You know, just 29 states have, like, if what is it, the popular vote?
Okay, 39 states are required to have their Electoral College vote with the popular vote. They're required to go that way, no matter
within that state.
Within that state. So those electoral votes go to popular vote, no matter what side of that electoral.
Okay. So there are a couple issues with that. I mean, now I understand a little bit more why California mostly goes blue all the time. I mean, you had 2 million people, or 2.5 million people in LA County who voted Hillary Clinton. And there's all these other, it's almost split 50-50, but let's say that if more of the less populated counties decided to vote red, then and all of these other blue counties, they have a higher population density. They get to essentially, of the cities, dictate who gets voted in each time, if I'm correct on that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just, which is silly to me, if you just abolish the Electoral College, it would just, the popular vote would just, would dictate it each and every single time, which in theory would work. But you have to think about, how it would affect each district. I mean, like all these other states that have less of a high population density or population in general, they basically don't get as much of a say as, the people who mostly think in the same way in Los Angeles or in New York City or in Chicago. All these major cities are just going to basically dictate all of the elections. And unless I'm misspeaking here.
No, what I was going to say is you say that the people in smaller areas don't get as much say. I think it's the same way even with the Electoral College. 55 electoral votes, which is 1/8, I think, of almost what you need to be president. 55
math.
electoral votes come from California. That is the most of any other. The next closest is Texas with like 30 some odd. I'd have to go look exactly.
Is it 39?
I don't know exactly. Like I said, I'd have to look. And okay, before I go into that, I just want to get through everybody really quick. Austinator, what do you think about the Electoral College?
My opinion is that I'm basically gonna kind of piggyback off of what pretty much everybody said. Basically, no. And there is a reason why we vote. And if the Electoral College is just basically going to influence it, then it feels like there's no real point to it.
Okay. Shadowhunter, even though you don't have to deal with the Electoral College, I'm not sure exactly. I think it has to go through Parliament after you vote, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably similar to ours. I think it's similar to our system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The party with the most members gets to be in charge.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Kind of strange, just real quick. I think it's very strange when the people who can actually go against the popular vote, the delegates. That to me is really messed up.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that I don't like.
Here
some
in
people,
Missouri,
like, their counties, had voted Trump, and then they're like, no, we're going to do Hillary Clinton because that's my opinion.
that is exactly
God,
what I'm
It works for both sides, regardless of which side
that's
you're
what I'm
on.
saying. It
right?
doesn't
Oh, I know
matter.
it does, and I think it's wrong either way.
Yeah.
If you're voting red in a blue area, you feel underrepresented, and people who are voting blue in a red area feel the same way.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. How many people here, and I can't remember, does the UK and Canada do daylight savings time?
Well, most provinces, except for Saskatchewan. But who cares? There's nobody there anyway.
Shadowhunter, do they?
Daylight saving time, yeah.
Okay. So how many people like daylight savings time?
No,
It's
I like going back to
useless.
standard time.
Huh?
Back to standard time. I can't wait. Just another week.
I can't stand it.
Okay. Here's the thing.
All summer.
Daylight
I will
savings
say
time-
I like it when they take away an hour, or no, when they give us an hour.
when you spring,
I don't like it when they
when you
take it
fall
away.
back.
In the middle
That's what
of
we're
the
going to have here soon. It goes to
You know
fall
what
back.
though? No,
I grew up
I
there.
don't
All
mind
right.
that.
Whoa.
I get to get up earlier, and it doesn't feel earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I look at daylight savings time the exact same way as I look at the Electoral College and how it's run. First off, daylight savings time was designed primarily back in the 1700s. Designed
1780s.
Trains.
1700s, which is the 1780s also.
Yeah.
It was designed.
Ford make box nice.
It was designed primarily by farmers and people who had to dictate around the.
Farmers are just going to get up when the sun gets up.
I thought it was trains.
Wait. Let me, guys. Let me finish what I'm
The
saying.
reason it did it is because of the roosters.
Well, no, it was designed around the sun and all of that type of stuff because that was when they could work doing their farming or other things that were very dependent, or the country was very dependent on at the time.
Yeah.
It was also designed so school children could go but still be a part of harvest and other things like that. Here's the thing. Today, we have tractors with lots of big lights. We have automated machines that take care of, milking and large, giant plants to do a lot of this stuff. It's kind of unnecessary. It's kind of in the past. Well, the same thing kind of was going on with the Electoral College. They try to figure out how can we make sure everybody is represented, because these people that live out in the country, way out there, that never really come near a major metropolis unless they have to vote, how can we make this so they are represented? What they decided was we can have people, one group, one person, come into an area and say, hey, I've talked to all these people around here. They voted. They want to go with this person. And that was why the Electoral College was designed, was that it was able to represent the most people. Today, I can send a message to Justin like that. I can call him. I can video chat like this. the necessary need or the need for the Electoral College has long since been passed because everybody can be represented. It is then the duty of the people to vote. If the popular vote goes one way and you are one of those people who do not agree with that popular vote, but you did not vote, then you need to be swayed to say you need to go out and vote. I believe in the popular election. I believe in the popular vote, no matter if it's going the way I wanted it to or not. It doesn't matter to me. I think that every person, because in the Constitution it states every person will be given a vote. I understand it says a lot of other things too that don't exist anymore. I do understand that. But that was kind of the way. Danny, you came in right near the end.
Sorry.
I'm trying to hurry this up because I have to get upstairs and make dinner and then jump to another stream at 7 o'clock. So I'm trying
How you doing a stream, Danny?
Hey, how you doing?
I thought you're doing a stream, man. What's going on?
No, it's something me and Chris recorded earlier. It's playing now.
Oh, okay. I thought it was live. I got it on my watch later. I'm like, I'll watch later.
I'm worried about that too, Eli.
It is designed. It is
I said it on.
designed. Go ahead, Danny.
I said it on Premiere, so it kind of looks like it's live and you can actually interact with it. But it's not actually live. It's pre-recorded.
Gotcha. But hey, I got the notification, man.
That's a good one. I just feel like the popular vote is then it is on the people. If you don't like the way your country goes, then I guess your party, your group of people need to push to have more people vote then. But that's my personal opinion. I think that it's severely past its time the way it's handled. So
I gotta write this down. Chris is talking politics on his show.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm trying
to off too.
Listen. I am trying to stay very far from even getting into politicians or our political views. I am strictly talking about the need to vote, the importance of voting, and bringing up some interesting things about voting with like the Electoral College, where in Florida, you guys, you're in Georgia, right, Danny?
South Carolina.
I'm sorry. Okay, so South Carolina is on here too. You guys, if your popular vote says to vote Republican, you're going Republican. That's how the Electoral College is required to do it in your state. Your state dictates that however the popular vote goes, those Electoral College votes go to the popular vote.
We're traditionally a Republican state.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying, if your popular vote states that you voted Democrat, you're going to go Democrat. That's just how it works in your state. My state is not like that. If everybody voted for Trump in this election and the Electoral College decided, well, you know what? No, I prefer Biden. And they can do that. They can.
Aren't they unlikely to do that?
Well, what? Okay, here's the thing. What stops them? Because again, we don't know who these people are. We don't even know. All we know is that there's a certain amount of votes that come from every state. We don't know who those votes are. That's my point. Okay, guys, we are 5 minutes past the time. I wanted to get through this. I want to go around and make sure everybody gets to tell you who they are, where they're from, and all that good stuff. Let's start down at the bottom today. We're going to go down to Justin. Justin, thank you for coming today. I greatly appreciate your insights on this, and I greatly appreciate you stopping by. Why don't you tell everybody about yourself and what you got going on?
I'm Justin Proper. I host a weekly show called This Week in Bullshit on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we got more content coming up. Stay on the lookout for that.
Awesome. Up next, Danny, go ahead and tell them about yourself and everything that you got going on.
I got a lot of things going on, but I really want to push. Chris and I are doing a new show, kind of brainchild of mine. It's called Planet Solo, where each Sunday around 7 p.m. we will be doing a critique of a particular guitarist, his or her solo. First week is going to be Brian Setzer, who is one of my favorite guitarists of all times. So it's playing now. I'm premiering it now as we speak. If you get a chance, please go over there and check it out. Support the channel. Thanks.
Definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. Up next, Dandelion Fluff, tell everybody about yourself and how mad you are that you don't get to vote.
I'm not that mad. It's on me, right? So I'm mad at me.
Okay.
I'm just, a person who wanders around, occasionally drops on a stream. I don't have a channel. I just like to hang out on YouTube because, whatever. What else am I going to do? Can't go outside. Actually, that's not true. BC's pretty good. You can pretty much go anywhere and do anything. So,
Lucky you. All right, next up is the Austinator. Austinator, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, what you're up to, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? My name is the Austinator, and I have a channel. I am 1 subscriber away from hitting 70, so if you guys have not subscribed yet, please do so. I do streams here and there. Gaming streams are coming back. And on Thursday, you can find me here at the Real Review 3000, where I will win the weekly Rumble. That's a spoiler, everybody. It's going to happen. And I have yet to know.
Do it, Austinator. If I've done it without being on the show twice, you can do it.
And I have yet to know who my opponents are. So I'm a little scared. But
that's going to happen tonight. I'm gonna get that all wrapped up. Make sure everybody that
you should be a lot scared.
69 subs, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting there going like, don't ask for more. Just stay there. Start a new channel, and start from scratch. Just tell all 69 of those people, guys, I have a new channel. Stay here. I want you to stay subscribed here, but start subscribing to my new channel.
Or just get 351 more.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Up next, we're going to talk to Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter, thank you also. Everybody that I have mentioned so far, guys, thank you for being here. Shadow Hunter, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and what you're up to.
So obviously I'm Shadow Hunter. You can find me at Shadow Hunter on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Shadow Hunter 419. On Halloween I'm going to be doing a special stream, so stay tuned for that. And got a bit more free time lately, so I'm going to be uploading a bit more, so stay tuned and keep interested.
Awesome. Then let's go to Eli Hoo.
Sorry, I'm just typing right now. Message to Bee's Nest. Okay. I am Eli Hoo, and I can be found everywhere and nowhere, and sometimes in between at the same time. Every Wednesday, I host a science show called What's Up with the Universe. It airs every Wednesday, 12 noon Pacific time. I'm mostly active on Twitter. Everything I tweet and retweet is not necessarily a personal endorsement, just an opinion. And don't forget to follow Dandelion and Fluff on our Etsy, because although it's misspelled, still
the link works.
The link works. That's all that matters. I could have typed in Etsy as YTJH, and it's
yeah, but nobody would know what the link was supposed to go to. Again, if you're not looking for yarn or a Christmas present, you're probably not going to find my Etsy shop that exciting.
And next Halloween, I am hosting a Simpsons Halloween Treehouse Horror watch party. Why?
Yeah.
Because the Treehouse Horror 31 airs on Sunday. We're watching it on Saturday.
Next Sunday? I mean, next Halloween? That's
Next
next
Saturday
year,
is Halloween, so we're watching the new Simpsons, new Bob's Burgers.
What
You
time?
mean this Halloween?
Yes, this
Next
Saturday.
Halloween.
What time and what day? So it's
Saturday.
on Saturday, but what time?
I have not discussed that with Pickles yet. LDG is helping me do that, so as soon as we get a time written down, I will tweet that and put it to everybody on Discord and everything.
All right. And then last but not least, we're going to go to JJ. JJ, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, all that good stuff.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a lot of everywhere this week. You know, I'm here right now. I'm gonna be joining Chris in an hour for the Mandalorian Roundtable. And then tonight on HanStar's channel, Jackbox Game Night at 11 p.m. Eastern. Come by, play some games, relax, have some fun. You can find me on my channel on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, for randomness at its finest. Random panel, random topic. Come by, check it out, like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. And you can find me on Tuesday nights with Chris, Danny, Nzo, Elihu, LDG Pixels, and the infamous Mad Martigan for the KHAOS list. And also sometimes on Thursday nights on Chris's channel for the weekly Rumble, either as a contestant or a combatant, as I'd like to say. Or sometimes his hair up his butt and I'm a wild card, you know, along with a few others he said pop in from time to time. So come by, check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, please follow, like, share, subscribe. Everybody on this panel, they greatly deserve it. They put out great content, all of them, those that do. And Chris, thank you for having me on.
Not a problem at all. Thank you, everybody. I am Chris Knight. This is Real Review 2000. Guys, please do me a favor. Make sure that you subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Hit the bell so you know we're coming out with new stuff. Also, go to youtube.chaoscentral.com and you can subscribe to the Chaos Central YouTube where Danny and JJ are on there. Eli, really? Eli Hoo is on there occasionally. Yeah, we do a lot of fun stuff over there. I got some new stuff planned for over there coming up. I'm working on getting that stuff taken care of. But guys, we appreciate all of it. Check out everybody that's here. Everybody is down in the description box below, except for some of the people on the panel. I will try to get back and put you guys all in it. I try my best to do that. But with that said, guys, we're going to end this and come back in an hour. We're going to be doing the Mandalorian Roundtable, talking about season 2. It's coming up this late Thursday night or early Friday when they drop it, but we're going to talk about it today. Thank you, guys. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute. And you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and Chris Knight at therealreview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.